Hello everyone. I didn't realize it was going to take me so long to get back to doing part 3, so I do apologize for that. I'm going to start off, the square that we're going to do today is this one right over here. So I do a little thing where I attach it when I'm starting it, but sometimes it is kind of a pain, so if that's something that you don't want to do, that's fine as well. So what we're going to talk about in this part is this square, this, and then I'm probably going to start this square and show you the trick that I'm going to do for when we're out of town or something like that. And so I do a little thing whenever I don't sleep in my own bed is my thing. So what I'm going to do is, and I will speed this up so you don't have to be bored, but I'm going to go ahead and cast on our 41 stitches, and then we'll do something special with the 41st. Okay? Okay, I had a little trouble there, so I just decided it was best if I just took it away and fixed it offline. All right, so we have 40 stitches on our knitting needle, and here's our 41st stitch, which normally I would just put on my knitting needle. However, because this is going to be connected to this square, and it's going to be connected up here, what we're going to do is we're going to find the last loop on this and use this 41st stitch, pull it through, and then put it on the needle. And that way those two squares are connected. And I am just having all kind of difficulty today. So that's our right side. So we're going to go ahead and, like we did before, this is all just a review. So if you don't want to do this, you can not. That's fine. Okay, so we have cast on all of our stitches, and we've put that last stitch through the stitch down here. And what we're going to do is our normal, which is slip as if to purl, put the yarn in back. Y'all should try knitting around a camera. It is so much fun. Not. All right. So then we're going to, we have one stitch on the needle. We're going to knit 19 more. Sorry. Whoo, rough day today. All right. So I will speed this up. Okay, so we have done 20 stitches on this side, including our slip stitch. So we're going to pull our yarn to the front, slip as if to purl, slip it back to the back, and knit 20 stitches to the end of the row. Okay, so we've reached the end, and we're going to go back to our right side row. And normally I would clip off. Oh, I do have scissors. I didn't think I had scissors in here. So let's just cut that so we don't have to deal with that. I don't think these scissors are very sharp. So for our high color today, we're going to use this color. So again, it's the same as before. I will try and put a note in here of when we get something new, but I did want to go over this in case, you know, there was something that you had a question about. All right, so here is, and of course I didn't leave a long enough tail again. I hate when I do that. All right, so here's our needle, and we're going to slip as if to purl, slip, put this to the back. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to bump the camera. And then we're going to knit 18 more. So we have our slip stitch and 18 more, which will give us 19. Okay? Okay, it's not necessary to count all the time because eventually you will be able to tell where that middle stitch is, but it is a good idea to count every now and again to make sure that things are even on each side. Now on this one, this one is the only slip that you do as if to knit. So you slip these next two stitches as if to knit. And then you knit the next one. Now, be careful because it's very easy to just do a knit two together, but that does not do what you want it to do. So, and ask me how I know this because I have had to go back and rip out like you wouldn't believe. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this row, and I'll do half the next row, and I'm trying to not have this be so boring. Okay, so we're at the end of this row and my yarn is in the wrong place. Okay. All right, so my yarn should be coming from back here because I just finished knitting that row. So we're going to take our first stitch, slip as if to purl, put it in the back, get ready to knit, and then on this row we're going to do a total of 19, including your slip stitch. So you do a total of 19. All right, at this point you're going to slip as if to purl. Going to pull your yarn forward, slip as if to purl. I didn't do a good job with that. Man, I'm having trouble today. And then put your yarn in back and finish out your row. So what happens with doing that slip in the back is it makes it pop out more. And of course we got some cleaning up to do there, but it will make it pop more because I do like on this one, see how you can see those V's very clearly. So let me finish this row. We're going to change colors, and then I'm going to take this square to my comfy chair and finish knitting it. And then we'll come back and talk about what to do at the bottom. Okay, so we're at the end of our second row. And we're going to use, we're going to use this color as our low temperature for the day. As soon as I find the end of it. There it is. Okay. Okay. So again, to start a new color, you slip the old color as if to purl. Put the yarn in the back and then bring the new color from the right side. Now sometimes with my colors, I usually like to weave in ends once we get an area that is not going to be knit into again. But sometimes if I'm having trouble with the yarn slipping away, or just having trouble with keeping the yarn at the end tight, I will do a couple of stitches of the weave and Steven just to help me out with that. Okay, so we've done this twice and we've done a little bit of a refresher. So I'm going to go finish knitting this square and then I will be back to talk to you. Okay, I'm finally getting back to this. This is where I am on the square, so we will go ahead and finish that today, and then we're going to use our main color to create, create down here a joining down here so that it doesn't have a jagged edge. Then we're going to pick up here from these two, and we will be using our main color, of course. I'm going to try, this is an experiment. This is my silver sparkle. So what I want to do this next year is anytime that I'm not home, I want to have kind of a silver sparkle edge around it. So I'm going to try an experiment. We'll see. If it doesn't work, then I'll just rip it out. And then we're going to use this for our high temperature of the day and this for our low temperature. So let me get all of these out of the way. Excuse me. All right, so let's finish up this square. And we're at the point where we slip as if to purl. Put the yarn in back. Let's see. This is, we have 5 left, so we're going to take these two, slip them as if to knit. Then we change our color and knit that stitch, pass the slip stitch over. Am I getting all of that? Yeah, okay. Pass the slip stitch over and knit the last stitch. Okay, I'm going to turn. Slip as if to purl. Put your yarn in the back. Knit. Oh, no, sorry. I was wrong. Okay, in this case, when you have this number of stitches left, you have 3 stitches, you do not move your yarn in the back at that point. You will slip both of these, then put your yarn in the back. And you knit 1 and turn your work. And you find the end of your needle. All right, in this case, what you do is you take your first stitch, slip as if to purl, put the yarn in the back, put this stitch back on the left-hand needle, slip as if to knit those 2 stitches, knit. Oh, you know what? Oh yeah, I changed colors here. Oy. Knit that last stitch and pass these 2 slip stitches over. Let me look at this in real life. And okay. So we finished this square. So what we're going to do at this point is clip these ends. And I'm going to give myself a nice long tail here. And pull it through there. Give myself a nice long tail on this one. All right. Now at this point, I mean, you can see all these ends and it's going crazy. And maybe you want to take an opportunity to maybe weave some of those in. All right, here we are bumping the camera. I'm so sorry. All right, so this is what we look like at this time, with lots of ends everywhere. That one doesn't even belong there. So we have this square and we have this square. So we want to fill in here. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to take this and flip it just like this. Now make sure, try, excuse me, try and get this to where it's not twisted. It's a challenge. That's the one thing that is a challenge about that, is trying to get that to where it's not twisted. All right, so at this point, for this section down here on the bottom, we're going to pick up 41 stitches. And I am going to start right, let's see, right here. And that is directly, kind of directly below this raised edge there. Things started, I just grab a crochet hook and get that first stitch. And of course, I do not have a crochet hook in here. You know, oh wait, I've got a whole bucket of them over here. All right, so sometimes it's just easier when you're first starting picking up to just grab a crochet hook and pull it through with your trusty crochet hook. You have to stick your tongue out to help you do that. And then you just put that loop on your knitting needle. All right. Where's the end of this? Okay. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't about to pull the end through. All right, so here we go. We're going to pick up 41 stitches. I do want to interject here. The reason why I crochet cast on these is so when I go to pick up stitches, see how nice that edge is? It's so easy to figure out where to pick up. Now at this point, I've only picked up 19. I need to pick up one more. So I'm going to kind of fudge a little bit. Pick that one up. Sometimes you just got to fudge it, you know? Okay. Wait a minute. Is that right? Yeah, okay. So that's 20 on that side. Then this middle, you just pick up right here, and that's going to be your center stitch. Okay, and then you pick up 20 on this side. Now what we're going to do in this section is you're going to do your double decreases in the middle, but you're also going to do a decrease on each side. So that's what makes this so special. And the reason why is because that's how you make that section flat. So it needs to have basically you need to decrease 4 every 2 rows. And okay, so we're at 41. All right, so we turn our work, and this is going to be our first wrong side row, which will not have any decreases in it. All right. Make this a little bit easier for you to see. So as usual, we're going to slip as if to purl, Put your yarn in back. We have our slip stitch, so we're going to knit 19. Oh, I'm wrong. You don't knit 19. What a dummy. You knit 20 because we haven't decreased yet. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Put your yarn in the front. Slip as if to purl. And knit 20 to the end of the row. All right, I'm going to show you these next 2 rows, and then I'm going to go back and get a few of these done and get toward the end, and I'll show you how that goes. All right, so our first thing to do, as usual, slip as if to purl. And what we're going to do on this row is we're going to decrease 2 in the middle and 1 at the end. Okay, so we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19. We're going to slip these 2 as if to knit. We're going to knit the next stitch, pass the slip stitches over. Okay. All right. Then knit to the end of the row. Well, knit to 2 stitches from the end of the row, because what's going to happen here is we have decreased 2 here, but we need to decrease 1 at the end. Now at this point, what happens when you decrease in the front on the end is your numbers on each side are now different. So we have to do something on the wrong side to even them up again. And when you get to the last 2 stitches, you knit 2 together. Simple as that. And you turn your work. And you slip as if to purl. And you're going to, let's see, how many stitches should we have? We've decreased 2 on this side, so we should have 18, right? I think. We'll see. And as with my regular squares, I can look over, I can take a little peek toward the front and see that that next stitch is my middle stitch. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so we're going to pull our yarn forward, slip as if to purl, and oh, I knew I had a problem with that. Darn it. We're just gonna let that go. Okay, and then knit to your last 2 stitches. Okay, so at this point, normally we don't decrease on a wrong side row, but in this case we're going to, and we knit 2 together. So now when you turn, when you turn this around, you should have 18 on this side, 18 on this side, and then the one in the center. So I'm going to take this and knit several rows, and then I'll come back when I have like maybe 4 rows to go. So I can show you again what we're doing on these 2 rows and how to finish this off and try to make it look as flat as possible. It's kind of hard to do that. Anyway, okay, this is where we are right now with that insert, and you can tell that it is making the bottom row flatten out. So what I'm going to do is walk you through the ending of putting this in place. So we will go to our first stitch here, slip as if to purl, knit 1, 2, I had to check to see where my center was. Use your center stitch in the stitch before, slip as if to knit, knit the next stitch, pass the slip stitches over, knit 1, knit 2 together. Okay, turn it to the back row. I noticed, I realized before that I said that this was the only area of the blanket that you would do decreases on the back side. And that's not true. You actually will do decreases on the back side also on your little triangle at the corner. Okay, so I want to straighten that out. All right, so we're on our wrong side. We're going to slip as if to purl, put the yarn in the back, knit 1. Our center stitch is here. See that? Okay. Oh, this is very distracting. Sorry about that. So we're going to slip as if to purl, put the yarn in back, knit 1, look in the front, and see your V's there. So this is this, you put your yarn in the front, slip as if to purl, yarn in back, knit 1, knit 2 together. Okay, so at this point, let me straighten that out. We have 2 stitches on each side of our center decrease. So when we get to that point, you slip as if to purl, put your yarn in the back, then your center stitch is here, take your center stitch and the stitch before it, slip as if to knit, knit the next stitch, pass the slip stitch over, and there's only 1 stitch left, so you're going to knit that stitch. Okay, normally at this point you would purl back, but we want this to be as flat as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to move our stitches back to the left needle, and we're going to do another double decrease. So slip 2 as if to knit, knit, and pass a slip stitch over. Okay, pass the slip stitch over. Feels like I got extra yarn there. Anyway, so that's what you would do. And you're still going to have a little bit of a bump, but if you kind of pull, if you kind of pull it out a little bit, it will flatten out. So let me pause here and get this fixed, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, finally got that straightened out. So we're going to clip our deal. Still going to have a little bit of a point, but if you just pull it out, it goes away. So it's really nice. So that gives you your bottom flat edge. So the next square we're going to do is this one right here. I'm just going to get you started on it, and then I will finish it, and we will talk about that, the finish of that, and everything else that's going to happen with this blanket in part 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick up stitches for the square that goes here. And here's my needle. So I'm going to pick up 41 stitches as usual. And we always start, no matter what, even though I'm going to do the special thing, we're going to start with our blue, or whatever your color is between your squares. So in this case, it's the blue. On my other blanket, it's the black. All right, so pick up 1. And again, sometimes when this is just being a real pain, you just grab a crochet hook. Sometimes for me, it's hard to start. So I grab a crochet hook, pull it through, and then I put that on my needle. Then that's 1. And I will fast forward this for you. Oh man, I just need to give up today. All right, but I don't want to, because I want to finish this so you guys can see it. So that's 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to pick up my 20th stitch on this side from a blue stitch. Okay, almost just picked up. Okay, we've turned our row. We're now on the back side of the first row. And we're going to slip as if to purl. Put the yarn in the back. Trying to make sure this stays in frame. Knit 19. Would be 20, including your slip stitch there. Okay. We can now cut our yarn, the border yarn, and we're going to try our experiment with our silver yarn, which I don't know if you can see the sparkle. It's very sparkly. So we come back over here to the beginning of the row, and we're going to slip as if to purl. And where's my other? That needs to be pulled tight too. Okay. So then we're going to pull our silver yarn in. And do it just like we would one of our colors of our yarn. Let me pull this out a little bit. Okay. So we're going to go over to the center, 2 stitches. pass a slip stitch over. And no, I don't tell myself this while I'm knitting, I just knit. Okay, knit to the end. Now what I'm going to try to do is when I get to the point, I'm going to do a return row, and then when I get to the point where I'm adding in my colors, I'm going to do 2 stitches of silver, then add my color, and then at the end I will use 2 stitches of silver. So this could be interesting to see how horribly wrong this could go. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let you go for now, and I will come back when I'm like halfway up the square so we can see how this silver is working out. Hello. Okay, so I did go ahead with this silver. I did 2 rows at the bottom, and then I added 2 stitches on each side with the silver. I don't know what happened there. All right, so I will show you how I did this in case you're crazy like me and want to do this, but to be honest with you, I don't know if I would do this again. So for our first stitch, we're going to slip as if to purl, put our yarn in the back. We're going to knit this silver stitch, then drop it and pick up our pink. And with having this many yarns going at the same time, it is interesting, let me tell you. Because what I did with the other side is I used the other end of the skein. So, all right, so we're going to do this like normal. And do our 2 slip as if to knit. Knit 1, pass a slip stitch over, then knit 1, then pick up the silver yarn. And knit 1. Now on the other side, okay, now on the other side, when you turn it, it's a little bit trickier. So you're going to slip as if to purl this first stitch, then knit this stitch, then oh, I used the same silver. That wasn't smart. Oh well, we're going to leave it. So when you go to do the switching over of the stitches, it gets a little tricky because you do want them to overlap because you don't want to have a hole there. So what I've been doing is just putting my silver down and having the other color come under and to the back. So we're going to finish this out. We just have a couple more rows, and then the same thing here. I put my thread way over, and then since we're using the same silver stitch, which we weren't supposed to, but we won't go there, you bring your silver stitch over into the back around your normal stitch. Okay, so on the next, I've got thread everywhere. It's such a pain. All right, so slip as if to purl, knit 1, slip 2 together, And this one is going to be a purple stitch. If I can find the purple yarn. Let me look over my camera and see if I can find it. There it is. Okay, so this is going to be a purple stitch. I'm sorry, I keep bumping the camera. Pass the slip stitch over, and then everything else is going to be the silver. Where's the silver? There it is. Slip as if to purl. Put your yarn in the back, knit one, slip this center one, knit two. Okay. All right. Slip as if to purl. Slip as if to knit. Knit one. Pass the slip stitch over. Knit one. I hope I've stayed in frame the whole time. I've been looking over the camera. All right. Last 2 quick rows. Slip as if to purl, slip as if to purl, knit. Then we're going to slip as if to purl. Oh, I hope you can see that. Slip as if to purl, put the yarn in back, put the stitch back on the left needle, slip these two as if to knit, knit one, pass the slip stitch over. And we're going to, if I can find some scissors, oh, there they are, yay. I'm going to cut our yarn down here, pull it through the loop. Okay, so this is where we are so far with our experimental piece. So I don't know what I think about that silver. What do you guys think? What I'm going to do before our next, the 4th and final installment, is I will pick up here for a square. Then that square will lead me to the triangle for up here. Then down here, I will have a triangle down here. And then next time when we come back, I will be ready to do the shaping here for the right side, like over here for the left side. So we'll do the shaping, then we will do one more square. I'll go over the triangle for the last time, and then we will start our I-cord edging. Okay, that's it for part 3.